Can you be masculine and mindful at the same time, or are they opposites? Hi, I'm Tim. This is Selfless Awakening, where I talk about stuff just like this: mindfulness, personal growth, spirituality. If you like what I'm talking about, subscribe, click the little notification to stay up to date on my latest content. All right, so I'm going to get right into it here. It's been about 5 years now since I had a major deepening into my mindfulness practice. I've been practicing mindfulness, meditating, reading about things like the law of attraction, stuff like that now for around about 15 years. But in the last 5 years, I had a real intensification in my practice. And inside of that intensification, I went really deep into using YouTube, using resources. My girlfriend, my new girlfriend at the time, 5 years ago, who's now still my girlfriend, Jessie, rebelhippiesoul.com, check her out. She's a mindfulness teacher and talks about relationships, mindfulness, spirituality as well. She was really good in the beginning of our relationship of opening me up to all of these ways to find new information around mindfulness, personal growth, spirituality that I didn't know. She knew a lot of the teachers to look to, and she knew about the community. So I really dove in headfirst into the mindfulness community online. And what I noticed was there was a lot of men who were, it seemed to be presenting in a much more feminine energy way. They were speaking much lighter. They were, there wasn't this like, fuck yeah, kind of macho man, cool shit, like go out and rugged life energy in it. It was all this very kind of calm and tranquil and peaceful type of a vibe. And so when I started to feel a pull to do my Selfless Awakening videos, I started off in that energy. I started off in if you go back and watch some of my earlier videos, you're going to see that I have a different energy than I do now. I have a little bit different avatar. I'm a little more feminine energy in the way that I'm presenting. And not that I was feminine, I believe, in those videos, but the energy that I was putting out was much less in vibration with my masculine self. And that really has been something over the last year or so that I've learned a lot from, because what it's shown me is that when I was in my 30s, I was married. I was in a marriage for 14 years, and while I was inside of that marriage, I was slowly allowing myself to be less and less in alignment with the masculine energy inside of me. And that masculine energy was a big part of my life back in the day. I mean, I loved hanging with the guys. I was rough and rugged, and I played a lot of sports. I played football. I played baseball when I was young. I played every sport. Volleyball. I grew up like a rural backwoods kid. And then somehow in my marriage, I lost all of that, and I lost my physical self. I lost my athletic self. I was very athletic, but I wasn't doing anything with athleticism. And so it's been interesting over these last 5 years when I started to genuinely do a whole nother level of mindfulness, personal growth, spiritual work on myself once I met Jessie. And she really nurtured that masculine side of me. There was almost a cultivation from her around it. Like she liked that part of me. And so it awakened in me this old part of myself that's a big part of myself, of being a man, of like doing cool man shit. And like, and now here I am. I've gained, I think I'm now maybe 18 pounds of muscle in powerlifting. I do, squats, deadlifts, bench press. That's my thing. I eat 200 grams of protein a day. I'm into motorcycles and e-bikes that go as fast as motorcycles. And I have guy friends that I shoot the shit with and bust balls with. And also, I'm still mindful. I'm still practicing mindfulness, which is what? It's being aware of yourself as the awareness behind your avatar. It's all that Buddhist Zen stuff. It's like when you're sitting and you get really deep in stillness and mindfulness, and you realize that you can quiet the voice in your head, and you can sit there in nothingness and feel like you are as much the trees in the field wherever you're meditating as you are a person. And it's like in those moments of practicing mindfulness, what you do with your avatar, it doesn't matter. Your avatar is the thing, just like in a video game. It's the experience that you have as a human being in this world. And that avatar doesn't have to look a certain way. If you're a man and you want to practice mindfulness and personal growth and you want to really tap into these, it doesn't mean that you have to change your avatar to being this soft-spoken, you have to wear a lot of scarves and you have to, have this certain energy. Although not judging or criticizing anyone that has that energy, because we're all in a different spectrum of how much of this masculine versus feminine energy feels right to us to vibrate in our avatar in the world. I've just noticed for me that there was an imbalance for years in my marriage and my life where there's a part of Tim, of my egoic construct, that likes doing guy shit and likes masculine energy. And I do not believe that that is at all in contrast with my ability to be loving, to tap into intuitive guidance on what's the next right thing to do for me, to listen to love over fear. All of these things I can still do and be a dude and do cool dude shit. So if you think that being mindful and spirituality means that you have to have a particular look to your avatar, guys, you don't have to. You can be as hardcore dude as you want. But the thing is, it doesn't change that you have to practice these principles of every day stepping out of the ego, stepping out of that voice in your head and getting still, looking at things that you need to look at to release emotionally, tapping into how you can be of service to others in your life, balancing that with play, being loving, being not triggerable and stepping out of your emotions. And that's the one thing I would have to say with this masculinity pursuit, where you have to be careful, guys, is that once you start to activate more testosterone in your bloodstream, there will be a time, if you're like me, where you feel a little more you tend toward a little more aggression naturally, so you could be a little more triggerable. And I found that now that's completely subsided, but there was a time when I was growing rapidly. I do the Barbell Logic program, and I have a trainer, and in my early growth phases, I was like, it's just like so much change in the body so quickly. So I did feel more triggerable, and I did feel a little more confrontational almost. So I had to really look at that and be mindful of that. But the whole point of a mindfulness practice is that you have tools to look at yourself. And if you're vibrating a little aggressive, you got to look at that. If you're vibrating feminine, you have to look at that too. You have to look at every aspect of yourself and really look at this avatar and decide, what do I want in this world? And how do I want the avatar to show up in that way? So this is really just not you. It's a part of you that you can be. So anyway, all right, I'm getting into it, but that's the idea. You can be mindful and you can be masculine. They're not opposites at all. So define your avatar, how you want to be in the world, uniquely for you. That's what this game is all about. We're here in a minute. We're here for a minute in these bodies. So be you hard. That's my word. Have a great day. Hope that helps. Again, if you like this video, subscribe, click the little notification to stay up to date with my latest stuff. Have a great day.